All right, Autumn, do you want to start? Because I know
Sure.
this is a topic that Autumn chose, and I was like, that is a great topic. So go ahead, and then I'll add in whenever.
Okay,
If
sounds
everyone
good.
can make sure that they're muted, though.
Okay, sorry guys, I'm like close up. I had to like throw my computer on this shoebox right now because my office is a disaster. But I wanted to talk to you guys about like what it takes to be a leader. Because I was talking to, well, actually this isn't what made me think of doing it, but yesterday I have a text thread going with some girls in my Diamond Dash, and we were talking about how they have a hard time finding working coaches. And it worked out perfectly with what I was thinking when I wanted to talk about this. Like, are you being the example that's leading your team? Because if you aren't leading your team, nobody's going to be going with you. You know what I mean? You're like, hey, my challengers aren't doing anything. It's like, are you? Where are your results? Are you showing up and having results? I can't get working coaches. Okay, are you working? Like, are you hitting Success Club every single month without fail? Give that example of what a working coach should be. Are you showing up to team calls to give that example of what a working coach can be? Are you messaging people to show coaches how working coaches work, right? So that's the thing. Like, I wanted to make sure, like, you will be a complete fraud and everyone will see through you if you don't lead by example. You have to do it. Like we talked about this last week. You know, I was at the beach and I came to get on this call because right now I am leading an elite team. Whether we're there or not, I'm leading an elite team, right? So I've got to show up. Tonight, Jamie's sick. She just got back from camping. She's, a million degrees in our house. Like my daughter just had a huge meltdown, so I grabbed my food and I still didn't get to eat it. I'm sorry. But I hopped on this call because I'm leading an elite team. And we are showing up every single day because this is why and how we're successful. So if you continuously don't make priorities for your business, make it a priority, then don't be surprised when you're not diamond, when you're not 1-star, whatever. Like when you lose your emerald, when you lose your diamond, like you have to, make it a priority. That's it. You can't just settle for Success Club and be like, well, no, I don't know why I'm losing my diamond, or I lost my emerald, or I can't get emerald, or I'm not making, like, you can't just be satisfied with the minimum. You have to work like, okay. One thing that I actually read a long time ago that I always try to think about, first of all, we know comparison is the thief of joy. Don't compare yourself with anybody else. But the other thing is, don't compare, like you should be asking yourself, am I the person I want to be and know I am? When you look at some girl that's successful, you shouldn't say, I want to be like her. You should say, I am going to be that successful. That is me. I am going to do that. And then you wake up and act as that person. Don't think, okay, when this happens, I will start acting like that person. And I get more coaches, I'll start working harder. Do it now. Act it now. Be that person that you see yourself as, and it will all fall into place. But that means you're showing up, you're working, you're not deciding, well, I don't have to hop on the team call tonight. I don't have to message today. Have to do this. It's like, no, because that's the person that I am, because you're imagining yourself. The person that I am does those things, right? So that's what really, really important. And I wanted to just say, like, things like, I have coaches who just decided, I'm not going to get in the Diamond Dash, no big deal. Or in it and are like, I'm not going to do the work, too much work. Or, when I'm doing this text strand, I'm constantly like not everybody, so I have some amazing girls killing the Diamond Dash. I don't want it. Like I'm sending out these reminders. It's like, that means I am leading their business, right? Which I shouldn't be. They've got to take the initiative to lead the business. I love it when a coach reminds me, like, hey, I did this, I already got it done. Like before I even got done, I'm like, yes, you have initiative. You are leading. You are being a leader. Not, oh, Autumn needs to tell me how to do this. Autumn needs to remind me of this, right? Because you and, Jamie, I'm sure will this too. Same thing with her. Jamie doesn't need to tell you or remind you or whatever. You have to choose to be the leader. And then again, same with your challengers and your challenge groups. If you want them to be successful and want to become coaches, like, are you showing how awesome it is by showing your results and being there or whatever? Or are you just only kind of sort of doing it and then, it's not surprising a bunch of challengers are kind of sort of doing it. No one's getting results. No one's going anywhere. Nothing's happening with it, right? There was another thing I was thinking. This all fell into line with the Be a Leader thing, but I kind of don't remember what it is. It'll probably come to me. But did you want to add anything to that, Jamie, while I figure out that? Because I can't remember what the other thing I was going to say.
Yeah, so it actually comes, it's funny because I've been listening to personal development like a crazy person lately. And it's weird because personal development, can you hear me? Okay. I switched to different ones just in case. So personal development is something that I know I need, but I also, it's also the thing that I feel like, oh my gosh, and I didn't do it today because the day ran away from me. So like sitting down and reading a book, you may be sitting down for 10 or 20 minutes reading your personal development, but actually only read like 2 or 3 or 4 pages because you're getting distracted over and over again. And so listening to it for me has been super beneficial, but also I noticed in the very beginning of listening to it, I'm like still training my mind to actually focus on what I'm listening to. Anyways, so if you're not listening to personal development, you need to do it because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so good. So today I listened to, if you guys don't have this on your phone, and this all ties in with what Autumn's talking about, so I will get there, but I want to show this to you guys. It's called, oops, I don't want to play it. Super Soul Conversations with Oprah. Oprah's Super Soul Conversations. It's this little green guy right here. And today I listened to Brene Brown, Rising Strong. And you guys, first of all, Brene Brown is thebomb.com and Rising Strong. And I have Rising Strong, Daring Greatly, Gifts of Imperfections, and Braving the Wilderness. Those are all amazing books that you should be reading or listening to. But she talks about how, what are the stories you're telling yourself in your head? Like what is something that's triggering you, and then you're telling yourself a story. So for when you're sitting there saying, oh, I don't have to show up on the team call, or oh, I don't have to message today, or whatever, something triggered you, and then you started snowballing some sort of thought process in your brain saying, oh, the reason I don't have to message people today is because I already hit Success Club and it's not going to happen. Or the reason I don't need to message people is because it's already almost the end of the month and I'm going to save all of the yeses for next month so I know for sure I'll hit Success Club. I mean, those are all the cycles that all of us have, right? So I want to make sure that you guys are actually paying attention. So first of all, you need to go and listen to the Oprah's podcast of Brene Brown and Rising Strong. And it goes into all kinds of things. Like you can categorize what she talks about in every little thing, every category of your life. If you're not being the leader of your team, then you're not going to have a team to lead. Like that is just point blank. If you want to be the leader of your team, then be a leader. And in order for you to be a leader, you have to lead yourself first. And if you aren't going to lead yourself, then you have to be putting in the work. Did I want to come home and do a bunch of work? You guys, I had no service for a few days and I was having like anxiety. I was like, please, I really want to work. I don't want to get so behind on messages and all this stuff. And I have like an incredibly full inbox. And on my way home, once I got service, I started working, got a little car sick, but was working. And I had a family vacation and it was awesome. But what I really wanted everyone to see was that as soon as I get into town, I'm getting to work. Yes, I had a few days off. That's okay that you have a few days off, but you are not allowed to let your few days turn into a few weeks and a few months, and then you fall right out of the habit of working out. You fall out of the habit of messaging. You fall out of the habit of your power hour. You fall out of the habit to be a part of your trainings. You get a little bit behind in your Diamond Dash training, and so you're like, oh, I can't do it. I'm too busy. No, it's because you didn't prioritize time. Or maybe you went on a little bit of vacation and you have to go back and make time to catch up on those calls. They are business meetings that should not be skipped over. The national wake-up call, the team calls. If you can't make it on the team call live, then I want you to watch the recording. And when you watch the recording, I want you to tell your coach that you watched the recording and what you learned from it. You have to be a leader of your team. And if you want a team to lead, then you need to be a leader. Point blank, that is just through and through. You will not make money if you don't have a team. You will not make a difference if you don't have a team. And you will not have a team if you do not lead. And you will not be a leader if you're not doing the work. Does that make sense? So I think that when Autumn was talking about it, like, because she had messaged me right when I went camping, and we've been messaging topics. Okay, what can we talk about this week? What should we talk about this week? And she comes up with such great topics, because I can go on rants and rants and rants all the time. But what I want you guys to realize is that we behind the scenes are doing the work. Even me and Ashley Worthy, we're doing a bunch of work behind the scenes. You know what I mean? So like, we're not just sitting there dilly-dallying around, coming up with things on a whim. Sometimes maybe we do Q&As, maybe life does get a little bit crazy, but we're making things a priority. Kelsey right now is sitting in her car listening to the call. You know, these calls are scheduled every single week. Unless we tell you there's going to be no call, there will be a call. Maybe maybe if there's some crazy reason I don't show up, or Autumn doesn't show up, or Ashley doesn't show up, or something, there will be somebody leading the call. I want to show people that when I'm not there, they are perfectly capable of being leaders themselves. So what was incredible was I was out of service, and so I couldn't post in my groups like I thought I could. And so when I had service, I asked my team, will somebody please be willing to pick up the slack for me, because I don't have service and I don't want people to think that they are forgotten about. And then I get back into my team page when I am able to, because I couldn't barely load anything. And two of my coaches were making posts and everything, and they're new coaches that actually have been worried about doing their own groups by themselves, and they were making incredible posts. And I'm like, oh my gosh, people need to be pushed out of the nest. You can do it, but you need to make it a priority. Wednesday, 7:00, we've got 2 teams joining forces to create great content for you. Tuesday, 6:00, you have an amazing upline team with freaking all top coaches doing incredible things. Monday morning meetings, national wake-up calls, Diamond Dash trainings. All of those are important meetings that you need to do and schedule in. And if you aren't doing the work, you will not attract business workers. You will not attract people that want to make this business work like you do. You have to be the magnet for it. Autumn, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
I knew I'd remember what I was going to say. So first of all, I was going to say 2 things. You reminded me. My team is doing a Lift for VIP group together, so I'm able to watch people interact with their challengers. And actually, Sullivan isn't. She's decided to stick to the challenge tracker, so I don't see her in there or whatever. But she's even like, I'm so sorry, I'm not in there more. And I was like, none of your challenger in there. You need to be with your challengers. All the love. You're doing what you should be doing with your time there. Then I see some coaches are commenting on everybody's things, and I just love it. They're totally involved, and I'm like, yes, they're giving. And then I see some coaches who are not even interacting with anyone in the group, not posting, not sharing. I'm like, oh my goodness, you got to be giving love to these people, because they want to, this is the place where they fall in love with Beachbody, right? Even if they're never a coach, be lifelong clients of yours. You can change their life, or if they become a coach, you can literally change their life, in every way. But so that's another thing I was just thinking, when you get people to order a challenge pack through you, it doesn't stop there. And just a reminder too, you have to lead in those groups the way, or people always say, my groups are crickets. Be like, okay, cool. So then get in there every day and talk and cheer them on and whatever, and eventually it'll pick up. I had groups that were crickets more than once in my life. It happens. Yeah, exactly. And then the other thing I was going to say, in my page, and I don't know if your page is like this, Jamie, I have I actually used to be the Coach Smart Start. It's in there, and I have the Coach University in there. And I send it, and when I send out my welcome email, it has a link to the Coach University, and I say also log in and watch a new coach call. So I have I counted, and out of my 22 coaches who said, yes, I want to be all in business builder, 2 of them have completed the Coach University and the Smart Start call. 2. I asked it the other day because I was like, I want to help get these people get done because it's going to lead to huge success. And it's the first thing I should do. And I was like, holy crap. I don't know if there's kids around, but I was like, 2. That's it. And a third person said she did it, but she's not my personally sponsored coach. I mean, I have 55 people in that group, and there were 3 that had done those things. Maybe someone missed the post, but then that also means they're not getting the team page and checking the post and making sure they're on top of all their work stuff. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like that makes me kind of sick to my stomach. I have a handful though, and Christy's one of them. She'd done all the Coach University, but not the Smart Start Club, but then said like, what's the link? I'm going to get it done. Like that right there, that is someone who is a business builder. Like, okay, right there, I'm going to go do it right now. But then I have coaches like, well, and I also have coaches who are like 2 weeks who are like, not all the way through it, whatever. And I'm like, but then I have coaches who have been coaches for a year and a half. I'm like, why can't I keep my emerald? Why am I not hitting diamond? Who haven't finished those 2 things? And it's like, you guys, this is the basic first thing we tell you. And like, so I mean, like this little gut check for you. Like, are you doing the things, or are you sitting back thinking, well, I'll just make it work over here? And then why am I not? We're not doing it, right? You're not. But I'm gonna like say, Christy again. She's doing it. She's almost a diamond, and she just started. Like she just started working the business, and she's closer to diamond than a lot of people because she's just like going and she's like, okay, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna do this. She's in the diamond dash. She's working hard. She's got her sister in it, like working it. Like it's amazing, and that is a business builder, and that is huge, and that is how you be a leader and you grow a team. But if you sit back and think, oh, excuses, I have time, like I don't have time. Maybe doesn't have time. We don't have time, right? I have time. I have this. I've got this. My family thinks this. Whatever. Then cool. You're going to attract a bunch of excuse makers who aren't going to build businesses, right? So that's it. That's another thing I thought of with that when I went in there, because I was just getting in there. I was like, that's an area I could work with my team and make sure I get them all through that and people who are close. But then I was like, holy crap! Only 2 of my coaches have completed all those things. So I'm going to check in with the people who just needed the getting started right call in like a few days, because it's like less than an hour call. And then I'm going to then go back to everybody else and be like, your Coach University on, your Coach University on. Yeah, I'm going to, because that is going to be a huge success. And if you can't build a house without a foundation, that thing's going to come crashing down. And then you can be like, well, that's weird. I don't know why my house isn't staying up. There's no foundation. Like, it's a basic thing, right? So that was something that I was just like, kind of like I said, it kind of made me sick when I realized how few people have even finished that in my team. So
honestly, it's the same in everyone's team, because you're going to have people that are doing it. And Autumn, check the chat, just FYI. So I wanted to, we could hear what you're saying, Autumn, just kind of cutting it out. I was able to piece it all together, but I just wanted you to know. So this is the thing that, with what Autumn said about going, not finishing Coach University. Autumn's a teacher. I didn't go to college, but could you imagine if Autumn got a teaching degree and everything, but she actually didn't go to school or do any of the trainings or do any of the homework or any of the assignments, and wasn't a good student when her teachers told her? I mean, I'm sure she had, Autumn's a party girl, so we all know she had her fun too, but she still made it work, and she still graduated, and she still became a teacher, right? It's the same for us. Like, this is the thing. It looks different because everything is condensed into 14 days of starting. Everything is condensed into, hold on. Everything is condensed into 14 days. It's shorter things and amounts of things to be learned or whatever over that time. And there's trainings and all that stuff, and you do it at your own pace and at your own time. And that's where we get, you know, the freedom of it. But it's just like young toddlers, like they have to earn their freedom, right? So you give them structure until they are old enough, hopefully, to be able to maintain that structure and discipline on their own and still get stuff done, but without us being down their throats all the time. So when are you going to become a teenager? We cannot hold every toddler's hand and walk you through everything when everything is sitting right in front of you. It's like when your kid is in the kitchen and they say, Mom, 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 can you hand me a cup? Mom, Mom, can you get me water? When they clearly know where the cups are and they clearly can get them and they clearly know where the water is and then they can get them. Do you know what I'm saying? And so, sorry, I was getting a phone call. So the trainings are there for a reason. Like, you cannot sit there and expect to have a thriving business when you aren't, like Autumn said, building your foundation, doing the schooling before you're actually doing the teaching. And you can teach while you're doing the schooling, but you need to get the discipline down. And we're not going to mom you all the time to get it done. Sometimes people come into these kinds of businesses thinking that we need to hold people's hands through the whole journey, when honestly, we're wanting to pull you alongside us and join forces and get moving and going together. So, I envision, my visuals, Red Rover, send so-and-so on over, and you have your arms all like this, and we're going to hold tight so that nobody can break through us. We are a team, and we're doing this together. We're taking every step through all the struggles and obstacles together. But if there's somebody that's sitting there not doing the trainings and not doing the work, but saying that they are, then we're dragging that person over, and we're coming back and forth, and they're dragging feet, and they're sitting there, and we cannot, that's not how a team works. That's not how a team goes. That's not how we get through obstacles. You have to join a team and be a participating team member if you want to be part of this front lines of success. Otherwise, we are going to drop, and you're going to have to figure it out. Not saying that we're not going to help you. Not saying that we're not going to be there for you. Not saying that we're any of those things. What we're saying is we're not going to do it for you, because you have to become teenagers at some point. And we have every single thing already at our fingertips. You go in your Coach Online office, the Diamond Dash, the Push to Emerald groups. You can go to the Follow Your Bliss page and search all of the Emerald trainings. You can go to the Follow Your Bliss page and find every single wake up call or team call that we've done with we've had amazing leaders share their success and how they were successful. You can go to the National Wake Up Calls. There are so many trainings. It's not just on us. It's not. It's just like when you send your kids to school and you're giving them access to a whole slew of people to learn from, other teachers that are learning from them, and they have to take all those other teachings in. It's not just us parents that are raising children, it's the world doing it as well. So you have to allow the trainings to come from all different directions, not just from us, because there's going to be some times where just from us is not enough. That's why we are a team. Each body is a team. We all bleed blue. If you look at our pictures when we were in Mexico with Autumn and Ashley and Emily, and there's a reason why we're all there, because we all joined forces through all the ups and downs. And no matter what, no matter which level you're at, we are all still linked elbow to elbow to elbow. It's not like this. It's not like this. There's nobody bigger or lower than anyone else. It's not a totem pole. We're linked elbow to elbow, and we are running together. Red Rover, send all obstacles over, because we will get through it, because we're leaning in. But you have to go out and find these trainings. You've got to participate, and you have to build your foundation. We're not doing it for you. We are not going to mom you the whole way. We're going to give you the tools, and then you have to put it to work. I hope that made sense. I think I blacked out for a sec.
I was going to add to that too. And am I cutting out now? Are you guys here? Can you hear me okay? Okay, it might be I just need to sit really still because I'm kind of move way too much when I talk. But I was going to add to this too. Like, I think of this too as a coach, and what I do, reminding me of your analogy, because I was a PE teacher. My best classes were when I got in and played with the kids, participated with them. When I sat back, go play your game. They didn't, right? So same thing when you run your challenge groups, when you run your teams, whatever. Get right in there. Do the work. I'm in the Diamond Dash. Like, I know how to do these things. I've seen these trainings before, but I'm still doing every single one of them again because, first of all, it is growing me being reminded. But secondly, I am getting to do this work right along with my team. And that is huge. And so like that's it, you guys. Again, you can't be a leader by being that sit back, go do your work. You need to be right in there. And like, I like the way your analogy with the Red Rover, I always think of it like that in my classroom. I love that.
And also think about it. I don't know if I'm the only one, and I actually know I'm not, because if you think about the 21 Day Fix workouts, okay? I don't know if any of you guys have done the 21 Day Fix workouts. You want to know one of the number one biggest complaints that people complained about is that Autumn was not working out with everyone. Now, you doing Lift 4, how many of you guys want to say, shut the F up, Joel, you're not even doing it. You're not even sore. Stop pretending. Because he's not in on the front lines doing it with us. It's an amazing workout, and I love him to death. But the thing is that no matter what, subconsciously, even though he's still giving me a great workout, I'm doing the workout. It's awesome, but I'm still, for some reason, annoyed. Stop telling me that that was hard when you didn't do it. Stop saying that, oh, yeah, you're sweating, or pretend that these are 50 pounds. Go get your 50-pound dumbbells and do it, Joel. And it's like he's teaching us. I shouldn't be mad at him, whatever. But like Autumn said, you do better, because no matter how you learn, we're all visual learners. We all are led by examples. You fall into your parents' habits by watching them. You fall into people's habits. The 5 people you surround yourself, you fall into their habits. So no matter what, we are visual learners, whether you want to be one or not. And so if you want to lead a team, then do the things that leaders do. Show up to the calls, schedule them, show up to your challenge groups. If you're having a rough day, then you sit there and call yourself out and be like, guys, I've dropped the ball. Because as leaders, that's what we are supposed to do. We fail forward. We're not perfect at all. We are learning. And like what Autumn said, you're in it. She's still learning. You know why? Because we have never arrived. You will never arrive. Ashley Molstad, #1 coach, freaking blessed that she's our upline, right? But she has never arrived. And if you get to know her, you will see that she still has the exact same insecurities and the exact same worries as a leader that all of us have. Am I leading these people right? Am I giving them what they need? Where am I falling short? Where can I put my time? How should I do this? There is no right or wrong way to do it, but besides not doing it at all. So fail forward and do the work and lead your people by setting an example. Stop taking so many days off. Stop sitting there and acting like it's a hobby if you want this to be a full-time business job. Oh, God. I'm glad that Ashley feels the same way about the workouts. Constant growth. We will always be growing, and if you're not sitting there growing mentally with personal development, if you're not sitting there growing physically with being product of the product, if you're not sitting there growing internally by being a product of the nutrition plans, and if you're not sitting there being growing business-like because you're not doing the business part of it, then stop sitting there and wondering why you're not doing it. Stop wondering why you're failing. And also, I want to change the way I just said that, because we will sit there and play stories in our head. We're failing at this. We're not good at this. I don't know why. I'm just not made for this. This is just for her. She can do this because she's so much more outgoing. She can do this because she's more confident. She can do this because she's got blonde hair and big boobs and blah, 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 whatever it may be. But that's not true, because if you look at Autumn's pictures of her before, she did not look the way she was. She did not act the way she was, and she did not do any of those same things that she does now. I couldn't even lead myself to go to the bathroom on my own. My anxiety was so bad. I had to be shoved onto a school bus to be locked in a counselor's office because I tried to get out of school. I was the kid. John John and I actually were in the same second grade class, but we didn't know it. But he does remember me because I was the kid that would sit under my desk and cry and cry and cry because my anxiety was so bad and I didn't want to be there. Like, you cannot look at where people are at right now and sit there and expect yourself to be right there on that page when you haven't even started on your page 1. We are on like page 1,500 and we've got a million more pages to go. So you need to start now. You need to be leading now, and you need to start writing your pages yourself by being a leader and doing the work. Otherwise, you're just going to be flipping and you're going to have a bunch of blank pages and you're going to be like, how the heck did I get here? It's like a year later and I've done nothing. Absolutely nothing. Time will go. The pages will flip no matter what you're doing with your life. Now make it a point to actually make it count. Don't let excuses. I can say there's so many reasons why I haven't showed up on calls. And I can tell you there's people on this call today that didn't think that they were going to show up on this call. But when you realize and you get out of your own head and you realize what's important to you, you will make it work. Nothing will come in the way of what's important to you and what this business can do for yourself personally, financially, and your family and your friends and your surroundings. So Wednesdays, 7 o'clock, right? Autumn, you switched it to Wednesday, 7 o'clock. We're just going to do team calls together for as long as it works out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you guys, I know that I was doing every other week calls like before. I don't know what you were doing, but like literally when I started thinking about it, it's like, if I'm an elite team, what does an elite team do? They have weekly calls. So does that mean that I need to like look more into the team? Okay, what does my team need? Does that mean I work a little harder? Yes. But again, I'm an elite team. I'm, leading an elite team, and that's what elite team does, is we need to have weekly calls. So
I was doing weekly calls for quite a while, and then I did no calls at all. You know why? Because I felt like we were at a standstill. It gets exhausting, you guys. This is just the truth. It gets exhausting having to reteach and talk about the exact same thing over and over and over again. Because when there's no growth on the team, then we can't sit there and push you to the next step or the next step or the next step. We can't sit there and place more and more stepping stones if you haven't stepped on the stones that have been given to you. So it takes time. A tough love session. It takes time from our lives. We're sitting there spinning our tires trying to figure out what can we do to help them? What can we do to push them? What can we do to get them to diamond by the end of August so that we can spoil them rotten? What is it that we can do? But the point is, we can't do anything. We can show up. We can do team calls. We're going to be an elite team, but we want you to be a part of that elite team. We want you to be a part of that growth. And we want you to see that just because every stepping stone, like you look at people and you think that they're so much higher, so much further away, but you're actually not. Like, I even look at Emily, 15-star diamond. She did it in such a short amount of time. And it's crazy. I'm 2-star diamond, but do I sit there and look at her and be like, oh my gosh, there's no way I could get to that, blah, 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 blah. No, she made it look even more possible than I've ever thought in a million years. That's why there's so much more momentum on this team this year, is because she showed what was possible. So stop acting like you're stuck or you can't get to it or it's so far away. That is just a story that you're telling yourself that's holding yourself back. You need to start believing that you can do this. Mm-hmm. Amen.
Yes. I know. I was thinking about this last night because last night I probably sent 100 invites. You guys, I'm not even kidding. I don't count them. I know people say like, I'm sending 70 a day. I don't count them because that's time I don't have. Like, you know what I mean? To sit down and write them down and count them out, that takes more time. I don't do it. I just message. Everybody I can think of. Last night, there was one girl I had in mind that I hadn't talked to in a while. And I was like, I'm going to keep messaging until her name pops up. It was like 2.5 hours. But that was just how I decided to do it. And it's funny because Jamie said her change about her anxiety. Mine was, I was so scared what people thought of me. I didn't talk to anybody. In fact, I would be told a lot growing up, you're a total bitch. And I was like, why? Because you're so stuck up. You don't talk to anybody. I'm like, I'm not stuck up. I'm scared to death what you think of me. I'm pretty sure you hate me. That's why I want to talk to you. Like, that's how I thought everybody thought of me. And that was just how I lived my life. And because I was so scared what everybody thought of me, I talked to nobody. I would not add friends on Facebook. I would see it work every single day. One of my diamond coaches, Arlie, I wouldn't talk to her. I worked with her, wouldn't talk to her. And I worked with her every single day. I didn't friend request until I started coaching because I actually thought she was a coach. And I was like, this is a safe one to friend request. And she wasn't a coach. And now she is. She's a rock star. But like that is my story. So you guys, when I like request 50, 100 people a day or invite them, I wouldn't have even said hi or friend request them before because I was so scared that everybody hated me and nobody wanted to talk to me. And like, that's just like, you just choose and you just do the work and it will change your life. But if you sit in your story, you're never going to change.
Yeah. Just like the quote, God gave you that mountain to show other people that it can be moved. So Autumn was given the mountain of being too scared to talk to other people, and so she never did it. But now she can. So she's showing you guys that mountain is not a permanent thing that could stay in front of you. You can move that out of your way. That is a fear that you can push out of the way. Inviting people, posting your videos. I post dancing videos all the time and people think I'm nuts. Oh my gosh, you're so confident, blah, blah. And I'm like, it's just dancing. It's supposed to make people happy. You guys need to stop thinking of it. It's not like I'm sitting there giving a presidential speech in front of Obama or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's dancing. Like, isn't it weird that we overthink something that's supposed to bring us so much joy and happiness? Tell me you don't dance around with your kids and they giggle and they laugh. And it's just like your children when you're raising kids. If you don't have kids, then you'll understand it still. But when you tell your kids, do as I say, not as I do. So, like, you don't want your kids to get a hold of the nervousness and the anxiety of not talking to people. You want to say, you go out and you can do anything you put your mind to. But guess what? They're going to do as you do. So if you're not doing anything that you're putting your mind to, then they're not going to either. So you have to remember, us as coaches, we're just like parents. We're just showing you that we went through all the same footsteps, and we're trying to condense those for me, 4 years of coaching, you guys, 4 years. Oh, well, apparently my dog is underneath my chair. 4 years of coaching, and I got to two-star diamond because I got in my way all the time. You okay, Ollie? Sorry. But I don't want you guys to wait 4 years. I'm trying to condense that amount of time for you and show you that you can do it. Same with Autumn. She's trying to show you guys that you can do it. Autumn went Emerald in like 2 weeks. And it took me, I feel like, forever for that to happen. It's crazy the amount. But I want to make sure we're not comparing ourselves to other people. I'm just showing you that we are trying to show you what not to do. We want you to get out of your way sooner so that you can see the magic of this sooner. That makes sense? Oh, but by doing that, you have to put in the work, which means listen to the damn trainings and get on the freaking wake-up calls and get on the team calls. We don't sit there and schedule these for everybody to just be like, oh, I'm so sorry, something happened, or oh, I'm so sorry, I don't know, like there's going to be a million excuses. Autumn had to pee right before this and my computer didn't load and my nose is stuffed up and like there's going to be reasons. My kids have been throwing fits and they're sick and there's going to be times where you absolutely cannot make it. But guess what? There are ways to work around it. We'll put up a training if we need to. We'll do something to show you that we're still showing up. But stop letting things get in the way of your business meetings. Could you imagine if you had, like, for those of you guys that have everyday jobs, I know Chelsea runs a daycare. What if Chelsea decided all of her daycare kids were going to come to her house and she's like, sorry guys, I'm just going to not work today and I'm just going to go back to bed and you guys are on your own. You can't do that. You can't do that. You have to show up whether you're sick or not. If she woke up with a cold, she can't just sit there and be like, hey parents, sorry, last minute, you guys can't bring your kids. I mean, I don't know her rules. I did daycare for a really long time and I know that didn't quite work out. You get so taken advantage of when you do daycare, teaching, whatever. People feel like your time is theirs. And And you can't sit there and not show up. Your kids are wallowing and drowning without you, and you're just dilly-dallying with weird excuses, and then you're not learning, and then it's self-sabotaging habits, and you don't even realize it. I am so sorry. I just have 0 Fs right now. I don't know why. 10 months to diamond, and I have coaches doing it much quicker now. Yeah, Heather Shipley got to 2-star diamond in like what, 30 some days, 40, 56 days or something like that. Emily started January as a diamond coach and ended before at Summit June as a 15-star diamond. Do not compare your journey to other people, but actually see the magic behind that journey. What did they do to get there sooner? They got out of their own way. That's it. That's all they did. And that's all you need to do. And showed up and did the trainings and penciled it in. Get a calendar. We all have phones. These are glued to our freaking hips. And don't even pretend that they're not, because you're on this when you're taking a poo. You're on this when you're at a stoplight. You're on this when you're driving down the road. You're addicted to this thing. The only reason I know is because I'm the same way. Put the reminders in your phone. There should be no reason. If you say, oh, I forgot, I want to throw my phone. I want to take your phone that's glued to your hand and throw it at your face, because that's not true. You didn't forget. You didn't schedule it. You didn't prioritize it. You didn't make it something that was going to happen. I need to be done because for some reason I'm in a mood. And yes, I did get a Mophie cage, Ashley, and it's like game changing. And if you tell me your phone died, that's a lie too, because you carry your charger or you have a charging case. There's no excuses. Autumn, I feel like you should take over. I'm sorry.
You're cracking me up. I'm sweating. I don't think my air conditioning worked in my room. Either that or I just got really passionate listening to you. Should I talk to them about our assignment for next week? When? Okay. So this is what we want to talk to you guys about. Because I'm thinking Instagram, because Instagram is the big thing right now, but I don't know if people want to do Facebook. I feel Instagram's better. So what we want to do, we want to take volunteers who want to have their social media looked over by other people in the group for different things. And we came up with some questions, and we haven't firmed the questions up, but I have a list here of questions that you would be asked. So basically, if you say yes, do mine, and I'm going to let you guys do mine. I want you to. I want the feedback. And you'll send mine to Jamie because she's going to take the names. But anyway, I'm going to have you do mine. Anyone else who wants to. You're going to go to their page. You're going to just scroll a couple scrolls on like Instagram. And you're going to say, okay, what's the vibe of the page? You're going to answer that question. Can you tell that I can help you in those couple scrolls? What did you notice first about my page? What's something that was super awesome? And again, we'll send these questions out if you want to be one of the people. And then overall, what's one thing that I could change? And what's one thing I should definitely keep doing? Maybe that kind of wraps in the super awesome. But then also I wanted to add to it, we didn't have this. I would like you to also go into their stories and be like, too much stories, not enough stories, what stories. So basically, because I'm volunteering people to do it to my page, and that means I would also do that for anybody else's page who volunteers. So we're going to do this for each other. Then you will, if you're on my team, you'll send it up to me. I will take your name off, you guys. I'm not telling anybody, don't worry. I don't even, like, I probably won't even look at what you said before I take the name off. I'm just going to take the message and paste it into a thing. If you're on Jamie's team, you'll do the same thing. But if you do mine, even if you're on my team, send it to Jamie, and then Jamie vice versa. That way, nobody knows who the comments are from, but we get honest feedback about our Instagram.
The do's and don'ts of Instagram. And so it's kind of like team versus team, but not in a competitive way. It's just like, like, didn't you do stuff like this in teaching, Autumn, where you had anonymous people like read people's stories or something like that and correct them and give honest feedback of what they should change and what, it's just like high school. So we're doing this. And when Autumn said this, I was like, that is genius, because we struggle. It's your storefront. So it's kind of like having a secret shopper come to your store and you don't know who it is. and you don't know what they're going to say, and everyone's going to have different opinions, different vibes. So we're going to,
go ahead.
We're going to, like Autumn said, we're going to make sure that we have all our questions written out, and volunteers done, and then we'll kind of orchestrate what the assignments will be for those people that volunteer, and then we'll take, I feel like, as long as you're okay with it, Autumn, like screenshots, the people that volunteer at the end to kind of show. Now, develop tough skin, okay? Because there's going to be criticism. We want people to tell you part of coaching is being coachable. And part of being a coachable means that you need to be able to take in criticism if things that should be changed. So if anything needs to be changed on mine, and just because we're your coaches does not mean you sit there and, oh, it's so perfect and I just love everything about it. No, you need to really dig deep and figure out different pros and cons of what we're asking. Honest is everything. Christy. This will be a good learning thing on Instagram, the do's and don'ts kind of what it is. We want to show people that actually for me, and I think Autumn too, Instagram is a game changer. And you guys, oh, I don't have a lot of followers. Guess what? We've got tools to help you grow a following. Autumn, is it helping you yet? I know it takes a little bit for you to build traction.
Yes, and I actually have my team. I put on my team, and it's help. And no, I think Arlie and Candace already signed up. I don't know if Christy has yet or not, but yeah, it's already helped me. I've gained I've only been doing it it's been just about a week now, and I have over 200 more followers so far.
Yeah, and it takes about a week for traction to build. You're going to see so much more, but in order for it to keep growing, you got to keep posting, which you do an amazing job at. And so, we have tools. You guys just got to ask, and we will give you them. So I feel like maybe we'll make posts separately in our team pages, and then we'll figure out the people that would be good candidates and then assign them from there, and then we'll get together and figure it all out by the next team call.
So, and I was thinking next team call, we can share it. We'll go into your, me. And you guys, like Jamie said, I want honest feedback. I want to hear it because it's going to help me. I really want you to be honest and go into my page. And then as we scroll through, we'll go over kind of what they said, what we can see it. And then whoever else wants to do the same thing, we'll hop onto your page and we'll talk about it. So
yep.
I think that could help us a lot with just clean our storefront. It's like getting a remodel, right? Target in our area is getting a remodel. I don't know about you guys, but it's like that. It's okay, it's time to remodel and freshen up. Or, hey, this is awesome, keep doing this. Or how can we fix our stories? Because that's a big one. People say, I get the same people on my stories. I'm not getting any new stories. Well, let's take a look at the stories and see what's going on. Also, there's other things are you hashtagging and pinning and whatever. But,
yeah, exactly. I'm excited. I think that's going to be an amazing teaching call for everyone.
I hope so.
And
everyone has to be honest. Don't be so mean you're going to make someone cry and never want to come back on a call. But there's a way to be constructive without being this looks like trash, right? You don't want to.
Yeah.
But at the same time, honest criticism. Your pictures are really dark. There's too much clutter in the background.
Stop using Shakeology or Lift4 logos and stuff.
Those ones of Shakeology, right?
Yeah.
This actually energized with sparkling water because I was exhausted. There we go. But or hashtags, Lift4, 8 sessions. These are things we can look at too and be literally talk about. But so we can say, something that you probably want to change, and then something you definitely want to keep doing. But I think that it will be really good.
And make sure that your guys' Instagrams aren't set on private so that we can go and look at them. Because can you imagine? That would suck. There you go. One thing. I don't know what I could say about her because her Instagram's private. Right? Yeah. So, all right. Are we good? Does anyone have any questions? Nothing?
Okay. Yes. Oh, yeah, Natalie. No, yeah. Anybody in our downline. So it would be anybody from me and below, which would be Sullivan, Arlie, or Christy, anybody in my downline. So you would send them up to me, and then anyone from Jamie's downline. So yes.
Because I'm going to be, even if everyone volunteers, I'm still going to pick people at different levels. You know what I mean? I want to show people because some people might be struggling with similar things in their profiles, you know what I mean? So like different categories. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm going to be strategic of who the 5 volunteers are going to be, if that makes sense. So we'll post the recording in our team calls. I'll send this to you, Autumn, as soon as we're done. If you're watching the recording, please post below in the comments that, hey, watch the recording, 2 things that I learned, and would you like to be a volunteer? And we will post more about that. But we want to know that you are coming in and watching the trainings. Is that good?
Because that being a leader, if you
Yes.
you're not behind on the information if you're leading a team.
Amen to that.
And if a coach asks me a question I don't know, my answer is like, I don't know, but I'm going to go figure it out right now. And this is where I think you can find it. Because I never just like ignore it. And I never don't learn something that I don't know if my team needs it. So
yeah, Kelsey will call me and I'll be like, you know what? That's a good question. Let me figure this out with you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not freaking the brains of the operation all the time. Promise. All right, you guys. Right. I shall talk to you all soon. Do you want a picture, Autumn? Should we do a picture?
I'll just go in there into my old IG stories. Good.
IG. If you guys have an IG, you better be doing the same thing. Oh, wait. Let me get this ugly chat out of the way. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Cheese. Ashley. Autumn, I love this. Oh my gosh. All right. You guys are the best. I shall talk to you guys soon. Next week, Wednesday, 7 o'clock. Put it in your phone calendar.
I'll be there.
Okay, bye.